What is up, run fans? Welcome back to a Saturday with me, Sam, on Light It Up. Shout out to everyone who's been joining the channel recently. It's absolutely amazing. We're on like 780 subscribers, hopefully maybe near 800 by the time you watch this. So please do click that button because it massively is appreciated. We're in Hove today, currently running through Portslade or Shoreham Port. I'm not going on a massive trail run, even though I've got my trail vest on and water. This is my sister who thinks that you need water for an hour's long run. So that's fine. She's just up ahead. And I'm pacing 20 minutes today for Parkrun, one of my favourite things to do. And my good friend Seb, who's been in some other videos, his Parkrun PB is exactly 20 minutes. So today we're going to try and get him to below that. So we shall see if that is possible. He did just the 10k last week and got like a 41 something, so it's in the realm. And Seb is good at absolutely giving it a full gas effort. So I'm hoping that's going to be something that we can achieve today. So let's find out. Right, the Burgundy Bandit is here. 1959.
I didn't realise how much red I'm wearing.
Today's the day. How do you feel?
Tight.
Tight, that's perfect.
Yeah, no
like
tight.
a coiled spring.
Yeah. Wound up, ready to go.
Today from Cambridge, Southampton, Bristol and Nottinghamshire, no doubt many other places as well. Welcome everybody. If you're doing your first 3, 2, 1, go!
Freedom!
Welcome back to a bleak, grey, cold and wet Hove Promenade. But that's the only thing that is bleak about this place, because the vibe is high and we are cracking on for this sub 20 for Seb. Now, to get a sub 20, we've got to run at 4-minute kilometres, and then we've also got to do 6:26 miles. So keep an eye on the timer, and the splits are going to come up as well. I've got all the stats as usual. Be sure to stick around because there is an almighty finish from Seb and also quite a few of the pacing group that are with us right now. Now, as you can see, it is a super busy Parkrun Hove. If you've watched my other ones, there's over 800 people that come to these events, and it is absolutely amazing. It is such a good buzz around this nice wide promenade. There are so many fast runners. I did a TikTok of the buggy runners taking off from the start a few weeks ago, and that's had like 30,000 views. So buggy content obviously works well. People are very impressed by those guys and girls because they all do about sub 18, I think, which is mightily impressive. So as we settle in here, we're aiming for that 4-kilometre pace, and we're at a 4:06. So we've got a bit of work to do here. Already there is a slight gap between myself and the 19-minute pacer. So you've got people wanting to push on much faster than the 20 minutes that we're doing today. And then we've got a fantastic blob of people behind us all tucking in because it is windy today. It is a westerly wind, so it's coming from right to left. So we've got it behind us at the moment. And then when we do the turn, it will then be in our faces. But my job is to break that wind for everyone else rather than hide away like I've done in the past when I did my own personal best at this very Parkrun course. Now, before we get fully stuck into the first 180 degree and start ramping up the pace, please do check out my Instagram. I've started posting on that a lot more, trying to build that as well as my YouTube channel to go in sync and give you daily updates and stuff like that of all my training as I gear towards Manchester Marathon, Snowdon Trail Marathon, Copenhagen Half Marathon, Beachy Head Marathon, and many, many more races, runs, and stupid events that catch my eye. I've also got my Strava as well, and as always, please be sure to subscribe. Anyway, enough of the boring fluff. Let's get on with cracking on and nailing this 1959, or even faster. Can Seb do it? Here we go then, around the first 180 degree turn, and it really does kill your momentum. Look at the pace in the top screen there. It goes all the way up to about 5:15 average pace at that moment, and we then have to drop it back down to 4 again. So we are losing quite a few seconds each time, and there are 4 of these at Hove because you start halfway along, unlike runs that I've done in the past like Littlehampton where you start at the very end, so you only have 3 of them. But what that lacks for speed, it makes up with the amount of people and the groups and the general atmosphere of this thing. So I cannot recommend Hove Promenade enough. It is so good. All the volunteers are so friendly, all the organisers, all the runners. It's such a fantastic, welcoming atmosphere, and there's lots of first timers, and Seb is one of those. And so he ran a 20-minute exactly at Littlehampton last week as we go through the first kilometre in 4:09, 9 seconds. Now my watch was obviously reading a bit wrong because this told me it was about 4:05, 4:04, but with the turn with the GPS it always runs slightly short because obviously you go up and you go back and the GPS points don't count that really tight 180 degree turn, so it's always slightly off. I've also realised that I've still got auto pause on my watch, and so when we start it doesn't start for another few seconds, like tracking the GPS and all that jazz. So all that combined means I'm not entirely au fait with what the actual time is. So you got to bear with me on this as I try and work it out as we go along. And I'm going to err on the side of caution and pick up the pace to make sure people can get in under that time. Because like I was saying, when Seb did it, it wasn't last week, it was last year. When Seb did it, the pacer came in, but the pacer did 20:03. And Seb was just in front of the pacer, but sadly not enough ahead and only got his 20-minute exactly. So today is redemption day. So we've got a few people that we're gonna see. We've got Mr. Green Top, we've got Swishy Hair Lady on the right hand side who's definitely going for it at the moment, which is fantastic. And we've got Neon Underlayer Man. I've got lots of shout outs for the jazzy, trendy jacket man last week, and even the man that beat me, Winter Camo Jacket Man, he changed his Instagram profile to the man also known as Trendy Winter Camo Jacket Man. So I'm glad the naming, people do appreciate it. I try my best to come up with names that are not offensive but also quite fun. Let me know in the comments if you've got any suggestions for names of people that you think might also work as well. I'll have a quick look around to see who we've got. We're running into the headwind now and it is hard work. My heart rate is high and I'm feeling it. I ran faster than this pace last week for a 10k and this feels a lot harder. But we're digging in, I'm doing it for Seb, I'm keeping track of him. I think he's quite surprised at the camber because my camera's got a horizon lock on it. And so it looks wonky, but it's not. It's actually the promenade that is slightly wonky. And that is really good practice for road marathons and road races, because when you run on pavements, it's nice and flat. And then suddenly you get onto cambered roads where there's a crown in the center and it wreaks havoc on your IT band. I absolutely destroyed my IT bands when I first did Brighton Marathon. And since then I've done lots of work on a Bosu, balancing on one leg and stuff like that. And it doesn't bother me anymore. But Alpha Flies or carbon racing shoes with a high stack with soft foam mixed with a slight incline, camber as you run along, you definitely notice. And Seb's got some Boston 12s on, which obviously have a huge stack and soft foam, and he was definitely feeling that as we ran along here. He was quite surprised. It is quite narrow with the stones, and the fantastic volunteers, they come out week in, week out and come and sweep all of these stones to the side when needed. But it does make it narrow in certain parts, so you've got to keep your wits about you, and it's good practice for when it comes to race day, for running along amongst lots of busy feet and busy shoes, as we see an abandoned pram on the side there. We love to see it. Well, we don't love to see abandoned prams, that's not what I mean. I mean, we love to see the pace we're going. Hopefully the abandoned pram has a nice happy ending to it. It's late and I'm delirious, but we're keeping this in, we're rolling anyway. And I might as well carry on because we're getting closer to the second 180 degree turn. So bear with as we go around this. And again, this one's even harder, I think, because I don't know, you have the building in the way, it just feels like it's tighter because you've got to get inside the building there slightly. So I always make sure to go nice and wide and try and cut round, as that second K is a 3:59, so we're back and dialed in. We absolutely love to see that, and I even shout that because when I pace, I like to shout at everyone and encourage them and make sure they know what sort of pace we're on. I don't want people having to check their watch. I'm doing all the timekeeping out loud for them. Pacer last week at Chichester 10K, he was brilliant. He led me to an absolute flying personal best, but he stayed very quiet. People have different styles, and my style is loud and annoying, so I apologise to anyone not fancying that. But hopefully it encourages people and keeps them going to dig in and do their best. Now, what is a fantastic sign is Seb, over halfway now, is having a chat to me about when he's going to go. So that not only tells me that he can talk to me, but also that he's thinking, right, when am I going to leave this group and try and go as low as possible? So we agree after a bit of miscommunication, because I thought you were saying, can I go at this turn coming up? As we hit 3:57, so we're only 5 seconds behind at the moment, so we're much better locked in, and we've still got a bit of tailwind behind us at the moment, and it also ends with a tailwind. As I was saying though, I thought Seb was saying he's going to go at this turn. I thought, blimey, he's feeling good, but he actually meant the final turn after this one with about 500-600 meters to go, and I agreed that'd be a fantastic place to go with a tailwind and lead himself to absolute glory. Into Valhalla he shall go. We're approaching the third turn at the moment, and Captain Neon Man comes flying past. He's absolutely cracking on. He's bored of my pacer group and he wants to just get on with his long, slow run today. He's probably a 15-minute 5K'er, no doubt. As we hit the second mile for all your Imperial perverts with a 6:17, so 2 seconds over the time. So we're taking the time. I'm telling everyone to really push on now, and this is where you can see people beginning to struggle. I've got to keep this pace up, but with that 180-degree turn plus the headwind, it's just hard to get back into that pace straight away. If you don't do it straight away, you are hemorrhaging seconds, and when it comes to getting a sub 20, those seconds absolutely count. So I run through, hopefully they can get behind me. Swishy Hair is absolutely nailing this. She's doing so brilliantly. Seb is hot on her heels as well as we approach these guys and make our way past. We're at 3:51 pace. I was aware that we were maybe going a bit fast here, but I wanted to make sure that we were going to go lower than sub 20, and so they can get their absolute most out of their aerobic and anaerobic systems today. This gentleman, Capman, he has a quick look around. He's clearly going for the sub 20. And some people like to run in front of the pacer. Personally, I love to run just behind. If you check out my Chichester 10K video, you'll see that I was practically sniffing that man's flag, and that is not euphemism, all the way around until the last 2K, and then I set myself free and absolutely went for it. Whereas some people like to run just ahead. Yeah, horses for courses, I guess, as we approach the 15-minute mark. So with that, we've only got 5 more minutes to run. And with that, you can pretty much hang on for dear life, I think. With about 1K, just over 1K to go, you're close enough to really, really dig in and make it. Seb is the absolute master of suffering when it comes to these short efforts. So I'm really confident that he's going to do well here, and it's just how low can we get him to go? I've obviously got to stay at the 20-minute pace. I can't crack on and get him to follow me. So we're just waiting for that turn point to unleash fury. Now, when it comes to the final part, I really think encouragement is such a massive element of getting people over that line. So I'm going to leave you with some raw audio now of what it's like and the sort of things I'm saying.
Nearly at the turn. We're back in time. We're about 19:55 at the moment. That's it, high cadence. We're bang on. That's it, get behind. Thank you so much. Deep breaths, push it out, so elbows back, nearly there, it's the last K, that's it, 600 metres.
So that guy we just caught up with, he was in my last Hove pacing video, who made it just in front of me. So hopefully he can get the same result again today. As we go around the final turn, look at that, it's almost a dead stop. And then we're pushing on, and this is where Seb hopefully is going to kick. He has done such a good job. We've barely seen him in this video, which shows that he's been running on my shoulder and behind me. The perfect strategy. And here he is, now striding to glory. I'm looking around to see how many people we've got. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ahead of us. Swishy Hair is still around somewhere as well. I'm shouting at her to really push on. That's it, there she goes, and someone else as well. This is absolutely, I love to see this. This is so fun. I get just as much appreciation and joy from this as I do when I'm running my own personal best, because I feel like I am, you know, in some small way part of everyone's achievement today. So I highly recommend it, whether you're pacing 18 minutes or if you're pacing an hour for Parkrun. Volunteer, give it a go, because it is such a fantastic experience. As we're pushing on now, we're into the 350s. I'm looking behind because I know that I'm going to be crossing at roughly 10 seconds, 1950, so 10 seconds ahead of schedule, which gives people a chance. If they're behind me, they're still got a chance of making it, because 10 seconds is a long old time when you're running as fast as possible. That third mile then is a 6:19, and we're 5 seconds below. I'm still chasing. People have gone slightly early, but that's totally fine. They're digging in. I'm shouting behind them that I'm still there to make sure they don't fully slow down. We've got 100 meters to go. I see someone from a previous video running on the way home now. He's in the middle of a long marathon workout today. Here we go to the finish, 3:48. We cross the line in a 19:47. It's a 3:48 final K. A little bit naughty, a bit too fast. I think I got a bit carried away encouraging those guys just ahead of me. So it's a 19:47 for Parkrun. Seb absolutely nails it in a 19:41. Couldn't be happier with that. Really happy with that pacing. It's really difficult with all the turns and with my watch not starting on time and things like that. So anything between a 19:40 and a 19:59 I'll take. Ideally, I'd like to do closer to a 19:50, 19:55. But as you can see, there is a big old group today. Plenty of people. Swishy Hair Lady, Holly, first parkrun she's ever done. So I wanted to see what her personal best was. And that's the first time she's done it. So absolute kudos to her. Well done. And at this point, she turns around, gives me a fist bump, says thank you. So I think she dug pretty deep today. So yeah, really good. Seb also dug very deep as well. And a few other people got in at the end. And I found one guy, Strava, who had this to say, which I was absolutely chuffed to see. It's really, really nice to see those sorts of things. I love making these videos. So support the channel by subscribing, liking it, give me a comment. Where do you want me to run next, or other pacer challenges? I'm happy to pace 25 minutes, 30 minutes if you're interested in that sort of thing. Hopefully in the future, I'll be pacing some faster times as well. So thank you so much for watching. Yeah, massively appreciate all the people who have been getting involved and liking the channel, and all the other YouTubers who have been showing me some love. Ben at Time on Feet and Ryan from Rayleigh Adventures. Shout out to those guys especially, because I've been chatting to them a lot recently, and hopefully we can get out and do some runs and some challenges with those guys in the future. Also, I wanted to give a special shout out to Stephen from Film My Run, who's got quite a bad Achilles injury at the moment. Hopefully he can get to Gran Canaria and do the Trans Gran Canaria, that insane run, one of those things that he does. Yeah, but wishing you well, Stephen, and everyone else. Hope you're having a great time. More to come very soon. Check out my training videos and my vlogs, because I'm training for Manchester, as I said previously. So have a look at some of those. Right, I'm off to bed. Catch you guys next time. Thanks again. Yeah.
Okay, that is Parkrun done in Hove. Seb smashed through the 20-minute barrier. It was really fun pacing here. And there's a couple of other guys, as you saw, who did incredibly well. That girl did brilliantly. She was proper pushing, and it was cool because she was listening to the simple instructions I was saying. I could hear her doing them. Yeah, feel like I had some sort of impact on her getting that today. So yeah, feels nice. Long run tomorrow. Lucy did really well. We're just finishing off this run now, about 14k, 15k, just getting to the finish. There we go. And yeah, big one tomorrow. Feeling good. It's going to be about a 90k week hopefully, which is absolutely what we're after. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe. I know it's easy just to not bother and click it and just see the videos because it pops up on your screen, but it does make a massive difference. Let's get to 1,000. Come on. Say bye, Lucy. See you next time. Yeah.